Over a week after the midterm elections in the US, the Republicans have managed to take control of the House. Right after Mike Garcia won in California's 27th congressional district, it gave the Grand Old Party one more seat in the House. And according to the US media projections, the Republicans are now in control of 218 seats. That is the exact majority required to head the House. Meanwhile, the Democrats have secured control of 209 seats. The minority leader, Kevin McCarthy, is likely to become the House Speaker. The Republicans have already nominated him for the post, but in order to be the elected Speaker, he will need support from a majority of the 435 members of the House. And experts say that this will be just the beginning of his worries. A long list of issues awaiting him. It will become his responsibility now to rise to the occasion and bring everyone on the same page over a plethora of bills. Issues like economy, abortion, democracy, immigration have topped this year's agenda, and Americans are known to vote on partisan lines. But experts say the trend has shifted in some states this year. The people voted on candidates' policies rather than following the party base. And this is being seen as the reason behind the failure of a red wave. The Republicans were able to turn at least 5 Democratic seats, and this is what gave them the thin majority in the House. The Democrats also changed course in some districts, but they suffered overall net losses. This is a less than ideal election performance. The split could lead to many policy deadlocks. Now that the Republicans control the lower chamber, it will allow them to halt President Joe Biden's legislative agenda. But you see, the bills need to pass in both the House and the Senate. And the Democrats still control the upper chamber. Moreover, the bill also needs approval by the president to turn it into a law. So with this outcome, Washington is heading towards a gridlock. Joe Biden has already congratulated the Republicans for their win, but he has also urged for cooperation between the two parties, something that looks unlikely on most issues. And we earlier spoke to Stephen Golub, an author and political analyst who spoke to us from California. Take a listen in.
He's got it, but there are at least 2 factors to consider. One is that because his majority will be so narrow, whether it's 1 vote or 2 votes or 3 or 4, he will be even more reliant than he otherwise would be on the far right wing of the Republican Party, the people who are election deniers, who are vehement about being negative about any Democratic policy and trying to undercut President Biden in any way they can. So that may actually, even though he himself is not as far right as them, he may have to appease them in all sorts of ways, even including, well, this is the second point, actually. You don't be shocked if there are impeachment proceedings against President Biden. Again, in our system of government, the House basically, an impeachment is basically an indictment of a president. Then it goes to trial in the Senate, where it will fail if they do impeach him in the House. But given the tenor of the times and given the composition of the Republican majority, they may try to undercut his administration through distractions by trying to create horrible publicity, pretty much bogus investigations. Nothing that Biden has done would warrant an impeachment at all. But don't be shocked if that's coming down the line.
WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.